Here we go, here we go, here we go. Another pair of Nick's boots, and I'm really excited, so let's go straight into an unboxing. How you going? Welcome back to Bootlosophy. If we haven't met yet, my name is Tech, and I am filming on Wickett country here in Perth in Western Australia. So I'm really excited because this is my actually fourth pair of Nick's boots, even though I sold one early on. There was a particular MTO Robert which I didn't like because of the size of the heel, and I am of the mood now that I might even try a high 55 arch. But at the moment, two of my Nick's boots, including this one, is the H&W Moderate Last, and one of them is the collaboration with Parkhurst on the beloved 602 Last. But this is a pair of boots that I'm really interested in looking at because it's an MTO boot ordered by someone else but returned to sender, returned to Nick's because of a size issue. And very luckily for me, it is my size. So let's get into it. As usual, it's a very simple cardboard box, obviously printed with Nick's handmade boots, made in the USA, and all around, basically just a basic cardboard box. Nick's do give the order details. So the style is MTO H&W, made to order H&W Last, 6-inch, color is in Latigo black leather, and it's size 8D. So let's get straight into it. And again, as usual, it's almost no frills boxing. They put a couple of wrapped over sheets of brown cardboard, and then the boots come protected in plastic. Nothing particularly special, just good sort of, I don't know, would you call it work boot packing material? Something special, they give you a sticker. I think with new boots, they'll give you a small tin of wax, which is basically Obernoff's really. In this case, because it's an MTO return to sender size exchange, they haven't given me one. So, oh no, I'm wrong. They have given me one. Well, there's Nick's for you. That's basically just Obernoff's wax conditioner. Thank you, Nick's. Let's take them out of their plastic bags. I'll take them both out and then we'll look at one boot at a time. As soon as I saw this, I said, yep, that's the sort of boot that I'd wear every day. It's Latigo in black, Latigo leather, veg tanned, Wickett and Craig. It's considered greasier. Latigo veg tan leather is considered greasier than other veg tans, such as harness, for example, or bridle leather. And this is in black and you can't see it, but otherwise it's actually a pull-up leather, and maybe you can see it. I don't know if you can. And as you can see, there is a little bit I can see that, but maybe you can't in the light. Okay. I'm told that this is not any particular model, but it is sort of based on their normal sort of 6-inch style boot, plain toe. It was done to specific specifications by the customer, and unfortunately for them the size didn't work, but for 8D I'm hoping it'll work for me. So let's go through it. It's a 6-inch boot, plain toe, double row stitch down, as you can see there. You can see the leather's flared out in the double row. You can see the thickness of the Latigo leather. Then you get the midsole. Then there's the rubber full slip sole. 1, 2, 3 stacks of leather in the heel, and then a rubber heel top lift. 1, 2, 3, 4 eyelets. 1, 2, 3 speed hooks, and then another eyelet at the top. And again, these are the Pacific Northwest speed hooks, which are basically milled posts. Not particularly well finished in the back, as is usual P&W style, that could get scratchy. A softer tongue, it's fully gusseted. I may consider rocking these with a kiltie or a false tongue, and I don't know whether they've included it, so let me reach inside. So we've got leather laces, goodo. They also give you a false tongue, which protects that soft leather. All these goodies tucked inside the boot. Inside the boot is unlined in the shaft, as well as in the vamp actually. It's a soft unstructured toe, although you wouldn't know it. I mean, it is flexible, but it's not soft as in some other boots that are of a cheaper grade. Solid heel counter and heel counter cover, like really solid. Vibram V-bar outsole, and a Dr. Sole Super Grip All Resistant heel top lift. That's interesting, combining the two, isn't it? Obviously the guy who ordered it had good taste. Raw cut leather across the top, no pull loop, which I like. I think I was saying when I started this video that as soon as I saw this, I thought this is the sort of boot that I'd wear every day, because it's kind of smart casual, but also kind of rugged. The stitch down construction is really well done. Not particularly huge stitch per inch, but it's a workmanlike number of stitching and the way it's stitched. The stitching of the leather pieces together is very clean, very precise. You can see a handmade flavor here because it's not so exact as you have to take out your microscope. The inverted V, that's a NYX trademark stitching. I can't see any missed stitches, so this is obviously not a quality return. Okay, let's take a look at the other one. Again, you know, similar sort of vibes. One of the things about NYX and whites in their stitch down, you notice, obviously what stitch down does is it flares out the uppers and then stitches them down to the midsole. And there's no welt per se. And what happens with the midsoles with the Pacific Northwest boots is they really come out like they're sitting on the raft. I mean, look, it's that thick coming out. And even here, it's that thick coming out. So this sits on a raft of leather, and inside it's built up with leather to create the shanks and the arch support. And you can see a slight bow here, which is usual for a leather shank and the way they build up that leather. The leather heel stacks are just done so well. You can hardly see the layers of leather. This Latigo leather in black feels waxy, but not overly waxy. Very firm temper, very firm. This is going to take a little bit of break-in, I think. But overall, a very versatile boot, I think, that can be worn in all sorts of situations. All right, let's try them on. So here is the moment of truth. Let's get our feet in this. Oh, the leather is stiff. Oh, goes in. This is an 8D. Interesting because it feels quite snug compared to my other 8D NYX boots, which is the collaboration with Parkhurst. And it feels snug and shorter in comparison to the 7.5 EE NYX Overlanders. But also I think this Latigo leather is fairly firm in temper, and that may have some feeling into the way they fit. They're not tight though, they're just a lot more snug than I expected in NYX boots. And that may also be the reason why the person who ordered them in 8D might have found them a little small. I don't find them small, I just find them snug. Right, let's tighten up the laces. First time tightening, the tongue doesn't know what to do, the kiltie doesn't know what to do. I don't quite know what to do. The leather's so stiff that I'm not sure I'm actually compressing it with the lacing. The laces are long, needs to go through that top loop, but I'm just quickly tying them for your benefit. not in the usual way I tie my laces. People often comment in my unboxings, oh, that's not the way to tie a shoelace. I know, but I'm trying to do it quickly so I'm not boring you. Ooh, okay, that's going to need some breaking in, but the fit is fine. The fit is fine. Other boot. Ooh, getting through that shaft, because it's such a firm leather, is quite tricky. And I think until I break this pair of boots out, I don't think, or break them in, I don't think I can wear thick boot socks with this. I'm wearing merino wool socks, medium weight. Once again, trying to get the tongue to do things it hasn't been trained to do. Kilty is firm as anything. That's really interesting. As you can see, until I really get everything loosened up, the lace facings are quite far apart. I mean, I think from first impressions, this might be a bit small for me, weirdly, although I am usually an 8D in nicks, except where they suggested I go a half size down and a couple of widths up. Being an MTO boot, I think there is potential for some variation. Again, it's not small, it's snug. And I don't mind my boots being snug, but these definitely will need a break-in. How do they feel on foot? Oh, absolutely superb arch support. Absolutely superb. They sort of come through and push up into your arch there. So they obviously curve in into a kind of cantilevered shape there to hold up your arch. The soles are stiff, as you'd expect from brand new boots. A little bit of heel slip, but that's mainly because my foot's bending and the boot is not bending as yet. Needs breaking. I think these are the sorts of boots. When I got my Nicks Overlander, I went for a walk almost immediately because they were so comfortable and that Spokane leather was so flexible. This, I think, full veg tan Latigo is firmer and is going to need a more sympathetic break-in. Just a few hours a day for a few days before I go for any long walks. Yep, I'm liking them. Okay, my immediate impression is pretty stiff all around. Will need break-in. There is no pain. I don't feel any hot spots at all. And yeah, I'm looking forward to breaking these in. All right, let's close out. So another pair of Nicks boots, which I'm really pleased to have. I'm also very pleased to be trying out this Wickett and Craig fully veg tanned Latigo leather, which is oily, waxy, but certainly doesn't have that feel to it. And if it weren't in black, I think that'd be a lot more pull-up. I'm looking forward to getting it maybe T-core a little bit, although I don't really abuse my boots, so very few of my boots that can actually T-core, other than a few that I've worn for many, many, many years before I even started this channel. But you can see little hints of the brown where the leather has been cut, so that should come through, I think. Very pleased with them. I'm a little surprised at the sizing, because I've found that with 8D or Nicks boots, they're often a little bit longer than I expect in an 8. And in fact, with the Nicks Overlander, I was advised by Nicks to drop down by a half size. My Brannock size is US 8.5. And normally, brands that make their boots big, I buy 8 and in standard width, which is D. And with Nicks on the Overlander boot, they suggested maybe that I go down a half to a 7.5, but increase my width from a D to a double E, and that was a perfect fit. So these surprised me at 8D as being so snug. Certainly with the 8D in my Nick's Parkhurst collaboration, they weren't as snug and they were a little bit longer. I'm not concerned, they do fit, and I'm just going to have to break these in. I don't know how with my boot rotation, but I'm going to have to do it. As usual with Nick's, you get the Obernoff's boot wax and you get a sticker, and I'm getting a collection of them. Brilliant Nick's box. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you know what to do. Click on the like, and if you're not subscribed and you want more boot content, don't forget to subscribe. I'm back next week. You take care out there now, and I'll see you soon.